Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? We're going to be exploring some really cool stuff today. AI,
AI.
yep, artificial intelligence. And we've got this super interesting article that's just jam-packed with like 75 crazy facts
So
about it.
that's 75.
Yeah,
Wow.
seriously. So get ready to have your mind blown. We're going to be talking about how AI is already changing our world, like right now, and also where it could be headed in the future.
It is fascinating, isn't it, how quickly AI is developing? I mean, it's not just about like robots in the future or anything. It's already kind of woven into our lives, in ways we probably don't even realize.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of changing the world, this article starts off with this really bold statement from Google CEO Sundar Pichai.
Sundar Pichai.
Yeah, so he said he believes that AI is going to have a bigger impact on humanity than, get this, electricity and fire.
Wow. Bigger than electricity. That's a pretty big claim, isn't it?
Right, like that's huge. I mean, think about it. When was the last time a new technology just completely changed? Like everything.
Yeah. That's a great point. I mean, it makes you think, doesn't it? Like, think about electricity, how it revolutionized just about everything. I mean,
Hmm.
communication, how we make things, how we live in our homes. So what he's saying, basically, is that AI, it has that kind of potential,
Yeah.
to like fundamentally change the way we do everything, how we work, how we talk to each other, even how we think.
Yeah, I'm starting to see what he's getting at. I mean, the article also mentioned some like pretty impressive numbers. Did you know that 56% of companies they're already using AI in some way?
Wow. 56%.
Yeah,
That's more than half.
that's more than half of all companies.
It's amazing, isn't it? And it's not even just, a handful of like big tech companies either. It's all kinds of industries. I mean, global investment in AI, it went up to like over $93 billion in 2021.
93 billion.
Yeah, so businesses are really like taking this seriously. They see the potential.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like everybody's trying to like get in on the action. But
Hmm.
what is it? What is it about AI that's making it, so popular now? I mean, is it just hype or is there something like bigger happening?
Well, there is a lot of buzz around AI, that's for sure. But it's not just hype, I don't think. A lot of it has to do with just like the incredible increase in computing power that we've seen.
Computing power.
Yeah. I mean, AI algorithms, they need to be able to process like massive amounts of data, right? To learn and get better. And now, finally, we have the technology to do that.
Right. So more power, more data. It's like the perfect time for AI to take off. Okay, but enough with the big picture. Let's talk specifics. How is AI actually being used today? Because this article it's got some seriously cool examples.
Yeah,
Yeah, some really cool stuff.
it really does. Which one caught your eye?
Well, there's one about a supercomputer that was able to identify something like 77 different chemicals that could potentially help fight COVID-19.
77?
That's what it said. Imagine that, imagine if AI could actually help us develop like new drugs and treatments that fast.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it could completely change medicine.
That's exactly it. I mean, that is the potential of AI in healthcare. Like we could do research so much faster and find solutions that we never could have before.
Hmm.
I think this is a perfect example of how AI can like do so much good.
Yeah, totally. Okay, and then there's the one about the Google AI that's designing computer chips. Get this, faster than human engineers.
Faster than humans.
The article says it takes the AI like less than 6 hours to do what takes like humans months.
Less than 6 hours.
Yeah,
That's mind-blowing. How's that even possible?
I know, right? It's crazy.
It's not even just copying what humans do.
Okay.
It's coming up with completely new designs, layouts, things that we might not have thought of.
Wow. So it's not just about speed, it's about like, creativity too and problem solving.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I have to admit, this is getting me kind of excited.
And it gets even cooler. Have you heard about AlphaDog? It's this AI-powered robot dog in China.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like it helps deliver stuff, right?
Right, and guides people.
And guides people.
Yeah.
Sounds like something out of a movie.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But this is a real example of how AI is like moving beyond the digital world and into the physical world. It's not just lines of code anymore. It's about robots that can actually like interact with the world around them.
Yeah. I'm seeing a theme here. It's like AI is popping up everywhere. The article also talks about how AI is being used to detect breast cancer. And it's doing it with really high accuracy.
Right.
I mean, that could be huge for healthcare.
Absolutely. It could be a game changer because, with cancer, early detection is everything. And AI is showing like incredible promise in helping us diagnose things earlier. So it's all about like using AI to help humans, and save lives.
Yeah. Yeah. It all sounds really, really promising. But, let's be real. There are always concerns when like new technologies come out. So is it all good? Or are there any like potential downsides to all this?
Well, anything as powerful as AI, it's bound to have some challenges. We have to be aware of those, of course, as we continue to develop it and integrate it into our lives.
Right. Right. So it's kind of like fire, right? I mean, a fire is incredibly useful,
Uh-huh.
but you have to, respect its power. You have to use it carefully.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So what are some of the concerns that people have about AI?
Well, one of the big ones that comes up a lot is the impact on jobs. Because as AI gets more, sophisticated, it can start doing tasks that humans used to do.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that. So like are we talking about like robots taking over entire industries?
Well, it's probably not going to be that dramatic, but there definitely will be some shifts in the job market. Some jobs are probably going to become automated, yeah. But the thing is, new jobs are going to come up too. Because AI, it creates new industries and new opportunities.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily about like losing jobs. It's about adapting to new roles and like, learning new skills.
Exactly. Think about it like the internet, right? Like back in the early days of the internet, nobody could have predicted all the new jobs that would be created because of it. Like,
Yeah.
web development and social media marketing and e-commerce.
Right. Yeah.
AI has that same kind of potential. It's going to reshape things and create all sorts of new possibilities for work.
That's a good point. So it's not about being afraid of the unknown. It's about, embracing the possibilities and preparing for those changes.
Yeah.
But what about this whole thing about AI becoming like too powerful? The whole robots taking over the world scenario.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one in science fiction
Yeah.
movies. But in reality, we're still a long way from that. Like, AI today is very good at specific tasks, but it doesn't have that general intelligence that humans have.
Okay. Okay. So we don't have to worry about like Skynet just yet.
Not quite. But it does bring up some important questions, like how do we design these AI systems? How do we control them as they get more complex? We need to make sure that AI is aligned with our values and that it's actually helping humanity.
Right. So that sounds like a pretty big responsibility. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
who's in charge of making sure that, AI is used for good?
Well, I think it's a joint effort. It involves governments, it involves researchers, tech companies, even everyday people.
No.
There's this whole like growing movement to create ethical guidelines for developing and using AI.
Okay. So it's not just about the technology, it's about how we use it.
Yeah, exactly. AI is a tool. It's like any tool. You can use it in a lot of different ways. It's up to us to guide how it develops and make sure it's used responsibly.
This is some pretty mind-blowing stuff. I mean, it feels like we're like right on edge of a whole new era. And AI is, right at the center of it all.
It really does feel that way, doesn't it? The possibilities are really exciting, but we also have to be aware of the potential risks.
Yeah. Okay, so let's shift gears for a minute and talk about like the future. What does the article say about where AI is headed? Are there any predictions that like made you do a double take?
Oh, yeah, there are a few. One that I thought was really interesting is the prediction that AI could contribute, get this, like $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030.
Trillion.
Brilliant, with a T.
Wow. That is a lot of money. That really shows how much of an impact they're expecting. Right?
Yeah, and that impact's going to everywhere. Healthcare, finance, transportation, entertainment. AI is going to change everything about the way we live and work.
Yeah. So we're talking about like a fundamental shift in how society works.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, yes. I mean, just think of the potential for AI to solve some of the world's biggest problems, like climate change, poverty, disease.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of future I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Where we're using technology to make the world a better place.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's be real. It's not all going to be smooth sailing, right? There are going to be some bumps along the way.
Of course. Progress isn't, always a straight line. Remember the AI winter back in the 90s?
AI winter.
Yeah, a lot of those AI companies went bankrupt back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
Well, they got acquired.
Was that because like the technology just wasn't ready yet?
I think that was part of it, yeah. But it also shows how important it is to manage expectations, Like, technological advancement, it's not always, easy. There are going to be setbacks, and we need to learn from them. And keep moving forward.
So it's about finding that balance between like being optimistic and realistic.
Yeah, exactly. AI has this incredible potential to really benefit humanity. But we have to be smart about how we develop it and use it.
Ah,
It's like a journey, not a destination. And we're all learning as we go.
yeah. This deep dive has definitely given me a whole new perspective on AI. I mean, it's not just, robots and algorithms. It's really shaping our world.
Yeah. It's a powerful force. And it's something that we all need to be thinking about, whether you're a tech expert or, just an everyday person. The
Yeah.
future of AI really is in our hands.
Right. So before we wrap up, was there anything in the article that surprised you? Like even you, the AI expert, something you weren't expecting?
You know what really got me? It was that story about Dendril. You remember that?
Tendril. Refresh my memory. What was that about?
Dendril was one of the earliest AI programs, and it
Hmm.
could it could automatically figure out new kinds of medication.
What?
Yeah.
It was developed back in 1965.
Yeah, 1965.
1965. I mean, that was before the internet, before
Hmm.
personal computers. Heck, even color TV wasn't that common then.
Right.
It's amazing to think that people were working on AI that long ago.
Yeah, yeah. It just goes to show how long researchers have been at this and the progress that we've made. It's just amazing.
It really makes you wonder, like, what will AI be capable of in another 50 years?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
what kind of world are we heading toward?
It's hard to even imagine, isn't it? But that's what's so exciting about this whole field. AI is always changing,
Yeah.
and it could change our world in ways we can't even think of yet.
Yeah. Okay, before we go totally down the rabbit hole, let's bring it back to our listeners for a second. Why should they care about all of this? Like, what's the big takeaway here?
I think the biggest takeaway is that AI is not something that's way off in the future. It's here. It's affecting our lives every single day, whether it's, the algorithms that choose what we see on social media or the AI assistants on our phones. We're interacting with AI all the time.
Yeah. So it's not about whether or not AI is going to be a part of our lives. It's about understanding how it already is.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the more we understand it, the better prepared we'll be to deal with all these rapid changes that are happening.